Hey, Danny, let's talk.
Sure.
How do you think the people of New Bethel will fare?
I don't know. I just hope they manage to stay together. I guess it's better to know the truth, but it's going to be hard to keep the community together after that.
Hey, Nadine.
Hello, Harley.
How have you been liking our journey so far? Nice change of scene for you?
I feel as though I've seen and done more in the past few days than I have in my whole life.
It's a good thing we got away from New Bethel. For a while, I wasn't sure we ever would.
It's really a shame. It seemed like such a promising place. To think I was seriously considering staying there. Painful as I'm sure it was for them. I'm glad you exposed the truth. A life of deceit is not worth living.
What the?
Something wrong?
Some fellers on horseback are blocking the pass up ahead.
I'll have a look. Is there some trouble?
No trouble at all. Let us keep it that way, huh? I'm Agent Carson of the Blackburn Investigation Bureau. I'd like to ask you a few questions.
What's this about?
I will explain everything. First, I must ask that you and everyone inside the wagon kindly step outside. Come out quickly, please. No fuss. I appreciate your cooperation. I will be brief.
How can we be of service?
As I told your driver, this won't take long. I have a few questions. First off, where are you folks headed?
We're going to El Presidio.
I see. For what purpose?
Just looking to conduct some business.
Where did you set out from?
We're coming from Rosewater.
I see. You've had a long journey. You must have encountered quite a number of people on your trip, yes?
A few? Why do you ask?
We're looking for some folks, and I wonder if you might have seen them. Easy now, pup. No need for all that. Control your animal, would you?
Tell us who you're looking for.
Gladly.
Shh, Lisa Lou? There's a good girl.
We are tracking a couple of men.
They must be dangerous fellers if you Blackburns were called in.
Quite. These men are ruthless bandits who raided an army supply wagon. The attack happened near Rosewater, and as it happens, you folks are coming from there. So naturally, I must ask if you know anything about the incident.
First I hear of it.
Same. Can't help you there.
Then I wonder if you might have seen these men on the road. See, a trapper family reported they'd camped a few days ago with some folks fitting our description. They said they were traveling in a wagon, much like this one, bound for El Presidio.
And what is the description of these men?
One's a tall, white man with brown hair and a well-trimmed mustache. The other's a short, swarthy New Spanish fellow with a beard.
Look, I don't know what to tell you, gents.
Oh, I believe you do, Mr. Ackerman. In fact, I would be very interested in hearing your account. That goes for Mr. Marquez and the rest of your party as well.
You can leave Miss Johnson out of this. She doesn't know anything.
We will determine that for ourselves. Will you quiet that mongrel?
Lisa, shh, girl.
Now, if you'll all kindly step away from the wagon, hands where I can see them. We will start our questioning with Mr. Ackerman.
And then what? Jail?
No, Mr. Marquez. Do you take us for the provincial sheriff? Besides, the jails are much too crowded with lowlifes these days, don't you think? Countries full of vagrants and foreigners. You really stepped in it when you decided to pick off that wagon. Truly you did. Did you know who you were messing with, I wonder? You'll tell us all about it, and then we will see that you don't tell anyone else. Quicker we do this, the better for all of us. Believe me. I said shut that beast up! Williams, take care of it, would you?
Take cover.
Everyone still alive?
For the moment.
Anybody seen Jake and Nadine?
I can go look for them.
Not until we do something about these Blackburns.
It doesn't add up. We robbed an army wagon, sure. But why call in the Blackburns? If the army wants us, why not send soldiers?
Good question. Maybe we can ponder that later if we're not dead.
Phil?
This is not the best time, Harley. What do you want?
So, General, battlefield assessment? What do we do here?
If we could take them all out at once, we might stand a chance. But my dynamite is back with the wagon.
I could go get it.
You think you can make it there?
Got any better ideas?
I do not.
Where do you keep the dynamite?
In a storage trunk, on the back right, behind the rear wheel.
Got anything on you that could help?
As a matter of fact, I do. Here,
Your flask?
liquid courage. Does wonders.
Thanks. Hanging in there, Phil?
For now.
Danny? Are you okay?
This is just like it happened last time.
You mean with Petey and your old gang?
Yeah, I hid then too. Left them all to die.
Look, we can survive this, but we need you. Nobody can shoot like you can.
I don't know that I can.
What do you mean? You're a great shot.
Yes, but only with bottles and juggling balls. I've never shot a person before. Not for real.
I need you to cover me while I run to the wagon. You don't have to try to hit anyone. Just lay down some fire to keep them from shooting back. Can you do that?
Yeah, all right. I don't think I'll be able to cover you the whole way, though.
Better than nothing. Thanks. Behind that tree would be a good spot to hide. Thanks for the cover, Danny. Damn! Carson's over there. Guess he's too far for Danny. I need to distract him somehow. Phil's flask, full of alcohol. Sorry, Phil, but desperate times and all that. I've made a nice little puddle of mud. Yuck. Ball of mud. All right, Harley. If ever there was a time to make your aim count, this is it. Hey, Carson! Got him. He ran farther into the woods. I should be clear to get closer to the wagon now. Not far to the wagon now. Nadine, are you okay?
Yes, I'm unhurt. What about you and the others?
All accounted for except Jake.
I think he's up near the front of the wagon. We need to do something about these men.
Working on it. Hey, Nadine,
Yes?
you said you saw Jake at the front of the wagon?
He ran that way when the shooting started. He dropped his hat in the commotion. I picked it up for him. Seems silly. I just did it without thinking.
Think I could hold on to Jake's hat for a spell?
Of course. Here it is.
You haven't been hit or anything.
Still okay. The others?
Well, Danny's having something of a crisis.
Poor Danny. None of us were prepared for this.
I hope this works as a decoy. Okay, Nadine. Phil's had an idea to get rid of the Blackburns. He needs some dynamite from that trunk behind the rear wheel. I'm going to get Carson's attention with this. While he's distracted, you make a break for the trunk.
Okay.
Ready? Here we go. Nice going. Now toss me a stick of dynamite, would you? Thanks. Sit tight and keep your head low. I'll get this back to Phil.
All right. Good luck, Harley.
Mission accomplished. Got the dynamite.
Excelente. Give it here.
Catch!
Everyone down! Uncover your ears! Dynamite! Run! Anda! That has taken care of them.
Nice work, Mr. Marquez.
Gracias.
That's all of them?
All the ones I saw. Carson, you're the last one standing. Give yourself up while you got the chance.
All right, damn you. I know when I'm beat.
Come on. Let's find Nadine and Jake.
No sudden moves. You're outgunned.
I am well aware of the situation, ma'am. I hope you all realize just how much trouble you're in. You've killed 4 good men. My client will be very displeased to learn of this.
And just who is this client?
Please, when you engage the Blackburns, you can be assured of confidentiality above all else. You may kill me, but you'll get nothing out of me.
Enough, Leger. We need to end this.
Yes, make an example of him. Send a message to his client.
We don't have to kill him. The Blackburns aren't well liked in El Presidio. We could turn them into the police there. Whoever sent them, it wasn't lawful. They tried to murder us.
Do what you like. It won't make a lick of difference.
Before doing anything, we need to disarm him.
One last thing before you do.
Phil! Are you all right? Say something.
I'm going to try to stop the bleeding. Give him space.
I'm going to check the wagon, see if I can find Jake. Stay with us, Phil. Please. Jake!
Oh, Harley. Glad to see you in one piece. Things got real rough back there, but we made it out all right. Everyone is all right, right?
No, everyone's not all right. Phil's been shot.
Oh. Damn.
Yeah.
Well, lucky thing we've got Miss Redbird with us. She'll see the old boy through it for sure.
Things might have gone better if you'd been around to help. Where were you when the shots started flying?
Me? Oh, well, I was holding a position at the front of the wagon, you see. I was aiming to push forward, looking for my opening. Then you folks took care of everybody. Mighty impressive how you handled yourselves, I must say.
What have you got in that bag?
Oh, this? Nothing, just some supplies.
Supplies? For what?
Well, you can never be too prepared, you know?
Are you running away?
What? Preposterous. Gentleman Jake does not run away.
Then what are you doing?
Why, I'm acting in accordance with my true nature. I'm a coward, Harley.
What?
Don't make me say it again.
So you are running away.
That is about the long and the short of it.
Why?
I already told you. Now just let me tuck my tail under and go, would you? Do we need to drag this out?
So it's just like that, is it? You're off as if none of this happened?
I'm off precisely because this happened. This was meant to be a simple job. Find out where Clark went, get paid. Nobody said nothing about crossing the army or getting shot at by goddamn Blackburns.
So the great gentleman Jake turns tail as soon as things get rough? What about all those legendary feats?
Legends, as you say. Tall tales to liven up the stage. I'm a showman, after all.
So, the Bleachbone Gulch showdown?
Only reason I was last man standing is because I hid behind a rock. And that's the shameful truth.
And the duel with Billy Boakes?
His gun jammed. Otherwise, I'd have been a goner.
And what about that Gentum mine you found? For the orphans?
Never happened. Hope there's no hard feelings.
You can't just up and leave. Not after all we've been through.
I was never much for sentimentality, Miss Legere. We had some good times, sure. But the truth is, you're all better off without me.
What about Danny? You're gonna walk away and leave him behind like this?
The kid deserves a better life than following an old fool like me around. A chance to bolster his confidence and make something of himself. Hell, just knowing you folks these past few days has given him that much. Well, I'd best be off. Good luck getting to El Presidio.
Well?
He's gone. Nadine tried everything, but she couldn't save him.
Oh God. No.
We'll have to mourn later. First, we gotta hide these Blackburns so more don't come after us. Where's Ackerman?
He left. Turns out he was no hero after all.
He what?
Can't say I'm surprised. Come on, we have work to do.
Well, where to begin? We lost someone special today. General Filomeno Marquez. We knew him as Phil. Phil didn't do anything halfway. He fought hard, loved hard, laughed hard. He lived his life with absolute passion and conviction. He burned too briefly but bright. Phil was an idealist. Now, ordinarily that might not sound like a compliment, but in his case, it absolutely is. Phil fought for a better world because he believed that things could really be better. He had principles and he lived by them, and died by them. And finally, Phil was undeniably a hero. He was a devoted champion for the people of New Spain, and a loyal friend to his companions. He was brave, passionate, and honorable. The revolution has lost a great man. Above all else, he was selfless. Phil took a bullet for me. He made the ultimate sacrifice for a friend. I can think of nothing more honorable. Though he was taken from us far too soon, we were lucky to know him the brief time we did. Farewell, friend. Phil. We lost Phil. He was always ready to lay down his life for a worthy cause. Guess saving the lives of your friends qualifies. He was a good man, and a fighter to the end. Jake's gone too. Damn him. Anyway, we finally made it. El Presidio. We were supposed to pick up Dr. Clark's trail here at the Jolly Good Club, but I'm not sure what good that will do us now. Those of us who are left. Everything's changed.
There she is, El Presidio.
It's grown since I was last here.
Cities have a habit of doing that.
Goodness, it's huge. How will we ever find what we're looking for?
Shouldn't be too tough to find our way around. We just need to find a safe place to park the wagon.
Oh no, this is the end of the line for me.
What?
Our deal was I get you to El Presidio. Here we are. Our business is concluded.
But I thought...
No hard feelings, Leger. The journey's been interesting for sure. Good luck finding that fortune of yours. I'll be in town a couple more days, Nadine. Come find me when you're done.
What do we do now?
Suppose we should find a place to stay. We'll need to plan...
Good evening. I'm terribly sorry to interrupt, but are you Miss Harley Leger?
Say, you look familiar. I've seen you before.
That is entirely possible, Miss Leger. I do believe we were in Rosewater at the same time. My name is Timothy King. I've been sent to welcome you to our fair city.
Thanks?
My employer is quite keen to meet you and your associates. There's a carriage waiting to take us to the offices of Vespuccia Petrol. Please, follow me if you would.
And just who is this mysterious employer of yours?
I'm afraid she would be quite cross with me if I robbed her of the pleasure of introducing herself. You'll soon be acquainted.
Fine. Let's go then.
They're here, ma'am.
Thank you, Timothy. Miss Leger, please come in. Welcome to El Presidio. I hope your journey here wasn't too unpleasant.
Just who in the ether are you?
I appreciate you must have many questions, Miss Leger. I shall gladly answer them, but first permit me to ask one of my own. Where is Mr. Ackerman?
You're telling me you know Jake too?
Know him? My dear, I'm the one who hired him.
Beg pardon?
My name is D.W. Shaw. I am the owner and operator of Vespuccia Petrol. Last week, I met with Mr. Ackerman in Rosewater to discuss a business proposition. I engaged his services to track down Dr. Bennett Clark and bring him to me. A few days ago, I received a letter informing me he was on his way here along with the team he had assembled. He seemed confident you had found a significant lead as to Clark's whereabouts.
Well, I'm afraid I've got some bad news. We were attacked by the Blackburns and he turned tail and ran.
I see. This puts me in a rather awkward position. But perhaps all is not lost. You've come this far. I see no reason why you can't finish what Mr. Ackerman started.
I'm confused. You asked Jake to look for Dr. Clark?
Correct.
Then why did he tell us we were searching for Clark's missing fortune?
Missing fortune? What missing fortune?
Jake said Dr. Clark left behind a bunch of money when he disappeared.
I see. I haven't a clue why he chose to mislead you. Perhaps he felt a treasure hunt would be more enticing.
He certainly did have a flair for the dramatic.
A risk of hiring a stage entertainer. But the truth would have had to come out eventually. My agreement with him was quite clear. 25,000 crowns in exchange for bringing me Dr. Clark. The same agreement applies to the three of you.
So you're telling me Clark's still alive?
Alive, and ironically, somewhere in El Presidio. What exactly was this lead you found?
Right before he disappeared, Dr. Clark was invited to stay at the Jolly Good Club.
Ah, yes, I know it. Quite exclusive. I myself have never set foot inside. You intend to search for him there?
Seems the best option.
Very good. You'll find the club on Cedar Avenue between Gull and Hare Street. In the meantime, I will ensure your stay here is comfortable. I've reserved rooms at the Presidio Hotel on the other side of town. You must be exhausted. I'll have Timothy summon a coach. Enjoy your rest. Should you need to speak with me again, you may return here. Good night to you.
I can't remember the last time I slept in such a comfortable bed.
Neither can I.
So what's our plan for tonight?
To see what we can find out at the Jolly Good Club. A painting of a city street at night. The architecture looks more like something you'd see back east. A snowy winter scene must count as an exotic landscape around here. A painting of an ore mine. Maybe it's meant to be motivational? Bizarre, enormous creature. Don't know what I'd do if I met that out in the woods. A portrait of a young soldier in uniform, practically still a kid. It's a sketch of something? I can't tell what. Big family. Maybe the hotel owners? A bowl of fresh tropical fruit for the hotel guests. This banana looks nice and ripe. Don't mind if I do. A full day's sleep did me good. It's not that cold out, but a fire still feels nice. Hey, Danny?
Yes, Holly.
Sorry about Jake. You must be real busted up about it.
I was, at first. The more I thought about it, the more I realized how obvious it should have been he was full of hot air. Having me do all the shooting, never a shred of proof to back up his stories. I thought working for him was the first stepping stone on some longer path. I thought I had so much to learn from him. Guess he taught me a lesson in the end, all right.
Poor Phil. I really miss the guy.
Me too. It's not the same without him. I really hope things don't fall apart for his revolution.
Me too. But that's not really up to us. Miss Johnson really went through it with us. Hope she'll be okay.
I think she will be. At the very least, she's got a new dog friend to keep her company.
What do you suppose Shaw's interest in Dr. Clark is?
Could be anything, really. But I'm guessing it has to do with making her money.
Hey, Nadine. Do you suppose Miss Johnson will be okay?
She's a very strong person, but she is quite expert at hiding her feelings. More gets to her than she lets on.
You think?
I know. You don't think she's really cold and heartless, do you? She's just careful about who she lets in. It's hard to trust when you've been burned too many times.
I suppose I can relate. I can't believe Phil is gone.
I know. I miss him too. I feel awful that I couldn't save him. I truly tried everything I could.
I know you did. Don't go beating yourself up. Think of it this way. The last thing he saw was the kind, compassionate face of someone who cared about him, trying to help. That's more than a lot of folks get at the end.
Yes, I know. I think the best way we can honor Phil's memory is to finish what we came here to do.
You're absolutely right. I can't understand how Jake could just run off like that.
I can't either. I thought he was supposed to be a legendary hero.
That's what he wanted everyone to believe.
It's kind of sad. I wonder if he believed it himself.
What do you suppose Shaw's reason for wanting Clark is?
An excellent question. My guess would be to hire him, though I've no idea for what.
We should get a move on. The Vespuccia Petrol Building. Shaw really does have a great view of the city, when it's not all blocked by fog, anyway. It's full of tools. Good evening, sir.
Hello. What can I do for you?
What are you working on up there?
Just fixing the hotel sign. New management's looking to spruce the place up. Promised me a new tool set, too. Can't complain.
Something wrong with your current tools?
They're old and rusty. Need a replacing years ago. But hey, better late than never, huh? I'm most looking forward to a new drill. Old one could hardly make a hole in a bar of soap.
Got any tips for what to do and see around here?
First time visiting, huh? Annabro Square Park is a nice spot to relax. Closed after dusk, of course. I'd say the wharf's the beating heart of the city. But it gets pretty rough at night. It's just northeast of here. For a taste of the Far East, there's Chinatown. That's on Annabro Square Road between Finch and Gull. Communicating with the folks there can be a challenge. Although, I suppose your friend could help.
Thanks. That's very helpful. Are you familiar with the Jolly Good Club?
Sure, I've heard of it. Real fancy place in the north part of town. Never been inside. That sort of place ain't for people like me. No disrespect, but I doubt they let you in either.
Have you heard of Dr. Bennett Clark?
Can't say I have. Sorry.
Thanks for the chat. I'll let you get back to work.
Evening to you.
We are on Cedar Avenue. The park's closed at night. Hey, Danny?
Yes, Holly.
How's it feel to be back here?
Hard to say. I'm glad to be back, but I'm also reminded why I left. Kind of an odd feeling.
Hey, Nadine. So, what do you think of El Presidio?
I'm trying not to be overwhelmed. All these buildings and streets. How does anyone find their way around? It's unlike anything I've seen before. I'm glad I got the chance to visit.
Excuse me?
Yes?
Why are you standing around the park at night?
I'm waiting for someone.
Can you tell me about El Presidio? I'm new in town.
You don't say. The city has plenty to offer. It depends on what you're seeking.
Do you know anything about the Jolly Good Club?
Only that I could work 1,000 years and still not have enough money to be a member.
Would you happen to be familiar with Dr. Bennett Clark?
The mad inventor who blew up the Lamplight City Expo with his illegal doomsday weapon a few years back? Never heard of him.
Nothing remarkable here. 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 Good evening, sir.
Hello.
Remind me?
The wharf in Chinatown on Annabro Square Road between Finch and Gull.
Remind me what?
The wharf just to the northeast in Chinatown on Annabro Square Road between Finch and Gull.
Thanks for the chat.
Evening.
Nothing remarkable here. 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 Nothing remarkable here.
Goodness, this place is bustling.
Watch yourselves, friends. Big cities aren't always kind. sleeping one off. She's shaking out some linens or sending secret signals across the way. She's just doing her job. An attorney's office. I'll be sure to stay far away. These two are engaged in some highly emotional quarrel. They're giving those documents some serious contemplation. They're tying one on and watching the world go by. She's minding her own business, but that one fellow seems very interested. Hard to tell which is more the ass.
Wow! This place is packed with stuff.
Seems there wasn't enough wall space for these. Cheap art, the kind you'd expect to see, well, in a pawn shop. Lots of different types of lamps. These look expensive. Probably not the wisest idea to keep them so close to the door. Everything you'd need to start your own farm. It's just not the same without our star guitar player. A collection of rather creepy dolls. I hate the way their eyes seem to follow me. A bunch of seafarers' trinkets. Captain Boylan would love these. An authentic bone china tea set. Hate to see the price tag. Do you seek work? Find your way. Approach a laborer and say, I am a stranger. Curious. Do you seek work? Find your way. Approach a laborer and say, I am a stranger. Curious. It's way too faded to read. A variety of pistols under lock and key. Repeaters, rifles, and shotguns. Good thing they're locked up. A ship's bell, like the one back in New Bethel. Ring bell. It's faded, but it says cashier. Proprietor, Meredith Benelli. Benelli, huh? I wonder. All right there, Danny?
Yep.
Nothing to say, really.
Yes, can I help you?
Quite a shop you've got here.
Glad you like it.
How did the ship get up here on land?
The city extended the shoreline when it built the new breakwater. Brought the land to the ship. About that time, some big trading company went bankrupt and couldn't pay the upkeep on its derelicts. So the harbor authority seized them, converted them to lodgings and shops.
You wouldn't happen to have been married to a man named Michael Benelli?
You knew my husband?
No, but I recently met his former captain.
What? Captain Boylan? He's alive?
Yes, it's a long story.
Please, spare me. I've no need to dredge up the past.
Actually, Captain Boylan gave me a letter addressed to you.
Did he now?
Do you want it?
I suppose I'll take it. I'm not sure what that man could possibly have to say to me. Might answer some questions I've had all these years. My thanks to you.
Anything you can tell a first-time visitor about this city?
If you're not feeling it in your legs yet, you will soon. Something to look forward to. Honestly, who thought it would be a good idea to build a city in such a hilly place?
Know anything about the Jolly Good Club?
Never heard of it, sorry.
Appreciate the help.
Sure.
This place has everything. Oranges, coconuts, lemons, pears. Some of these fruits I've never seen before. This place... Good evening, sir.
Evening. Get your fruit here. Pears and oranges, only 2 crowns. Lemons for 3. Coconuts for 5. Tell me what you're looking for.
You get many customers at night?
Oh, sure. You came from the central part of the wharf. I'm sure you saw how lively it is. Plenty of folk from the saloon come by, sucking on lemons and oranges before bed eases the hangover to come. That's what they say, anyway. Who am I to argue?
What can you tell an out-of-towner about this city?
Watch your step round here. Many's the time I've seen visitors lose their way in the fog and take a plunge into the bay.
Do you know anything about the Jolly Good Club?
Sure, I deal with them from time to time. Can't tell you much more beyond their fruit-buying habits, though.
Would you happen to be familiar with Dr. Bennett Clark?
The scientist? I've heard his name, but I don't know much about the man.
I'll be off.
If you need fruit, you know where to find me. I'm open all night.
The transcontinental route ends here. These will be headed back to cities on the East Coast. The lighthouse on that island must guide the ships into the harbor. Nothing fancy, but it looks seaworthy. Nothing to say, really. All right there, Danny?
Yep.
Good evening.
Evening to you.
That boat yours?
Sure is. Use her to fish during the day, but sometimes I take folks for a sail. The price is right, of course.
And what is the right price for a ride?
Depends. A cruise around the bay will run you 20 crowns a head. If you had something specific in mind, we can negotiate.
I'd like to know about this city.
Oh, I love it here. There's a reason they call it the mouth of the West. We get all kinds coming through here from other provinces and other nations. El Presidio's been growing like crazy. Can't wait to see where it goes.
Know anything about the Jolly Good Club?
Never heard of it. Sounds like it's for fancy types.
Ever heard of Dr. Bennett Clark?
Wasn't he the guy who blew up those people a few years back?
Yes, I suppose he was.
That's all I know about him. Sorry.
Thanks for the chat. Have a good night.
See you around.
Nothing remarkable here.
Welcome back, Miss Leger.
Mrs. Shaw?
Yes, Miss Leger.
If we're going to be working for you, I'd like to know some more about you.
My, you are inquisitive.
How did you come to be the head of Vespuccia Petrol?
My late husband founded this company. He was a very clever man. Fortunately for him, he recognized my business acumen and relied exclusively upon my counsel. I ran the company for many years in his name. After his passing, that fiction was dispensed with.
Have you lived in Vespuccia long?
Oh, about 30 years now. For some peculiar reason, Vespuccians seem to accord an English accent more respect, so I kept it.
What do your initials stand for?
Dorothy Wilhelmina, but simply DW has proved more expedient for my purposes.
Anything you can tell a first-time visitor about this city?
For such a young city, it's bursting with opportunity. Everything back east is all used up. I wouldn't be surprised if El Presidio outpaces New Britannia within 2 decades.
Why exactly do you want Dr. Clark?
It's quite complicated. I haven't the time to go into detail. Suffice it to say, I wish to make an offer of employment.
Why would an etheric researcher want a job at an oil company?
All that need concern you is the fact I'm paying you to procure him.
What made you decide to hire Jake, of all people, for this job?
His reputation as a capable agent. His intervention in the Boakes affair, for instance. I needed a man found and brought in discreetly, and Mr. Ackerman was already in Rosewater, where the trail began. It seemed auspicious at the time. Alas, we all make mistakes.
Can you tell us anything more about the Jolly Good Club?
It's a club for the well-to-do men of the city to gossip and talk politics. Rather puerile, if you ask me. I can't imagine how you plan to get inside. Without Mr. Ackerman, you seem to be at a disadvantage.
We'll find a way.
That's what I like to hear.
I think that's all. Thanks.
Very good.
We're on Cedar Avenue. I've got nothing. Nothing remarkable here. 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 This fancy building must be the Jolly Good Club. The sign of the Jolly Good Club. Solid oak for keeping people out.
May I help you?
Good evening. I was hoping you could tell me if Dr. Bennett Clark was here.
I'm afraid, madam, that I'm unable to provide information of that sort.
Don't suppose I could come inside and look?
Absolutely not. This is a members-only club.
And how does one become a member?
One must meet certain requirements. Quite frankly, you do not. Good evening.
So much for the direct approach.
There must be a way to get in.
Lots going on back here.
All the work is kept tucked away, out of sight of the members. One of these people might know a way to get inside the club.
I can see into the Jolly Good Club's kitchen. Not as fancy as I was expecting. Judging from its position under the window, and the fact that the cook keeps throwing things in it, I'd say this is a waste barrel. Mostly discarded food and scraps. Oh, this greasy rag might be useful. It's a cart full of what appears to be linens and bedding. The sign says, authorized personnel only. Hello, sir.
I'm sorry I can't talk. I'm busy preparing dinner.
Excuse me, sir, are you all—
Oh God, that smell!
Sorry. I mean—
Whatever the devil it is, I've got it bad. Save yourself and steer clear.
You're in luck. My friend over there's a healer. Nadine, can you come have a look at this man?
Hello, sir.
Eh? You're some kind of doctor, Missy?
I practice medicine, yes. If you tell me what's wrong, maybe I can help.
Think I had some bad water. Had me spewing everywhere.
I see. Where did this bad water come from?
That horrid flophouse, I'm sure. Oh, it's all so squalid. One unlucky business decision. Oh, and you're out on the street. A pauper. I came back here to the club, hoping for a modicum of human compassion in a time of need. Now I see how deep friendship and brotherhood really runs. Ooh, about as deep as one's account balance, it turns out. Amicitia et fraternitas, my soiled backside.
Back to the club? You were a member?
For nearly 20 years. All that history, erased in a blink of an eye.
This man is seriously ill. Cholera from the sound of it.
Can you do anything for him?
He's severely dehydrated. The best I can do is mix up a rehydrating solution, but I'll need a few things.
Like what?
Coconut water, ginger, and banana. We should hurry. If we don't help him, he won't last till sunrise.
Hello again.
Good evening to you, miss.
Do you have any ginger for sale?
Oh, that's not something I stock. Try your luck in Chinatown. They sell all sorts of roots and herbs.
One coconut, please.
That'll be 5 crowns.
Here you go.
Enjoy.
Definitely full of water. I just need to get it out. I've never seen a banana with a red peel before. It's full of tools. You see the drill the repairman mentioned. Would you mind if I took your old drill?
Nah, be my guest. It's badly rusted, though. Doubt you'll get much use out of it.
Good evening, sir.
Hello. What can I do for you?
Remind me what we should see in town.
The wharf, just to the northeast, in Chinatown on Annabro Square Road between Finch and Gull.
Thanks for the chat. I'll let you get back to work.
Evening to you.
Nothing remarkable here. Nothing remarkable here. Nothing remarkable here. Nothing remarkable here. Nothing remarkable. Nothing remarkable. Nothing remarkable here. Nothing remarkable here. Nothing remarkable here. Nothing remarkable here. Looks like I found Chinatown. Danny, can you read that sign?
It says Society of Open Arms.
Very ornately carved.
Yeah, what is it?
Jimmy?
Danny? What are you doing back here?
You two know each other?
It's been a long time.
You're telling me?
Can we come in? We need to speak to whoever's in charge.
You can, sure. Your friends are a different story.
I take full responsibility for them. They're trustworthy.
All right. I'll take your word. Come on in. We've got a lot of catching up to do.
A painting of a Chinese landscape. What's that banner say, Danny?
Secrets are kept within these four walls.
Here, we value the ability to mind one's own business.
All right there, Danny?
Yep.
Pardon me, could we have a word?
Sure. Give us a minute, Danny.
What exactly is this place?
It's the Society of Open Arms, a social club, a place for our community to gather. We take care of our own here.
And what's your job here? Jimmy, was it?
Yeah, that's right. I do lots of things. Mostly I make sure everybody feels safe. Anything my boss asks me to do, I take care of.
Your boss, huh? Who might that be?
Nobody you need to be concerned about. You got any questions or business affairs, you talk to me.
I'm new in town. What's to know about El Presidio?
Ask Danny. He'll tell you all you need to know.
So how are you and Danny acquainted?
We grew up together.
Is that right?
Yeah, we were like brothers. Used to play on this very street. Then he ran off with Petey and some other guys. Thought I'd never see him again. It's good to know Danny got away from that crowd. I never much liked them.
All right. Danny told me about Petey.
Doesn't surprise me. He idolized that kid. Did he say if anything happened to him?
Yeah, he was killed in a botched robbery.
Figures. That explains why Danny's not latched onto him anymore. Anyway, this is all ancient history.
Okay, thanks for answering my questions.
My pleasure.
Hey, Nadine. At least this one's partly in English. He seems to have a very complicated order. I'm guessing this is where all the medicines and herbs are stored. Excuse me?
Wait your turn! Can't you see I'm helping someone already?
Yes, but I only wanted to know if you sell ginger.
Ginger? Yes, 1 crown. But I'm busy right now. You'll have to get it yourself. In the cabinet behind you. Check the list. On the shelf.
I'm guessing this is where all the medicines and herbs are stored. Hey, this isn't ginger. What's going on here? I looked in the drawer the ginger's supposed to be in, but it's not there.
Must be my stupid assistant mixing things up again. He's not so good at telling letters and numbers apart.
Aha! Here's the ginger. Here, I found the ginger.
Okay, 1 crown.
Here you go.
Thank you.
All right there, Danny?
Yep.
Hey, Nadine.
Ah, perfect. Thank you.
Potent.
Ah, perfect. Thank you.
This drill is the perfect tool. Too bad it's rusted. All right, time to add the 2 best rust removers, elbow grease and actual grease. Perfect.
Excellent. Just what I need. Good. I have everything I need. This should only take a few minutes. Here you are.
Thanks.
That's all right. You can keep it.
Here, drink this. It'll replace some of your lost fluids.
If I can keep it down. Oh, well, for medicine, that was rather nice. My mouth feels less of a sewer, at least. It's good to know there's kindness somewhere out here. I'd repay it if I could.
Since you were a member, do you think you could get us into the Jolly Good Club?
I don't understand. You're asking me to sponsor your membership?
I'm afraid that's quite impossible, even if I were still in favor.
No, we just want to look around inside.
Again, I don't think the three of you would get very far. I do know of a secret way in, but more than one of you would attract too much notice.
I'll do it then. Where's this secret way?
There's a door in the back alley, over against that wall on the other side. It may be locked, though.
I try not to let that stop me.
That will take you into the club's library. From there, you can get upstairs. I think there's a presentation tonight, so most everyone will be in the grand hall watching. Best time to get around unnoticed.
Thanks for the information.
Be careful.
Your condition is serious. Nadine's brew will help, but you need to get medical treatment.
If you say so. I'll try at the convent hospital. Surely they won't turn me away.
Nothing to say, really. All right there, Danny?
Yep.
Feels like someday soon there won't be a blank wall left anywhere. The rest of the alley is fenced off. I get the impression this store is used by the club's undesirables. Unsurprisingly, it's locked. That won't help me get the door open. The handle may be different, but this is definitely a tumbler lock. The tension key. Well, I'll be. Now to find Clark. The letter said he'd be staying in this L person's suite. So who and where is that? I imagine most of the folks in here are great admirers of Mr. Atwood. After all, he always did make a point of standing up for the great big rich guy. A ferrotype showing a bunch of men outside the club. The plaque says opening day. A nondescript landscape, not very well executed. A painting of a cafe, looks like somewhere in Europe. There's various exhibits in these cases. Mostly old coins and trinkets brought back from who knows where. I wonder if these could actually be used in combat. So many butterflies. This put Sheriff Gamble's collection to shame. Various ferrotypes of rich people enjoying themselves. Suppose they need to prove how happy they are. A stuffed bird. The plaque says it's called a dodo. How odd. Volumes and volumes of books. Nothing particularly noteworthy, though. This club's membership has felled many an antlered beast. Display cases with different exhibits. Haven't got time or inclination to study them. I wonder how long it would take to read every one of these books, and if any of them are worth it. I wonder how long. There's a plaque above all those portraits that says In Memoriam. Seems these are former club members. Edgar Whitmire, founder of the Jolly Good Club. It's a list of club members.
February 12th, upon hearing news of the reaction when they hounded you up after enduring such a trying year, I know how much Bill. One day when rationality again prevails in the halls of government, and with warm regard, P.S.
February 9th, Clark, I have a business proposal. Relinquish that dusty laboratory in the middle of nowhere. You may stay in my suite at the Jolly Good Club. My Orem Star membership and military rank afford me certain privileges. You will be furnished with the comforts owing to a man of your intellect and accomplishments.
It's signed L.
P.S. You needn't have any concern for your valuables, as there is ample secure storage in the room. One of the aforementioned perks.
Ferrotype showing a bunch of... Hey, that's Miss Lee.
As you see, gentlemen, my analysis was correct. The region is absolutely ideal for the formation and preservation of fossils. Though I have so far recovered only a small part of what I believe still lies out there, I was able to partially reconstruct the dinosaur skeleton you see before you. Quite a fearsome beast, isn't he? This ancient lizard, which I have christened the Eremosaurus, probably roamed the lands near the San Bernardo Valley over 72 million years ago.
This is fascinating, but I'd better get a move on. Stern-looking fellow. He's got a medal on his chest with 4 stars on it. General Lancaster Bevins, 1770 to 1832. Bat. Mrs. Edgar Whitmire. I bet she's never set foot in this place either. Ham. Archie. Aurum Star members. Where have I heard that before? What a sourpuss. I don't think I'd like to get on his bad side. This man's got a vacant expression. Wonder what he was thinking about. I've never understood men who grow beards without mustaches. He looks bored, but I would be too if I had to stand perfectly still for that long. He's wearing a medal shaped like a leaf. Jovial-looking fellow. Either that or he's got a secret. Why is that man pointing at a skull? Does he think it makes him look mysterious? Fancy ring. Probably worth a few hundred crowns. The insignia on his shoulder shows 4 stars. What a sour... I've never... Why is that man... Archie. Kit. Chan. Warm air is coming from the grate. They must have that indoor steam heating I've read about. Lige. Willie. Barnabas Jordan, 1801 to 1845. Ned. Finney. Warm air is coming from the grate. Sigh. We've only been in El Presidio. Barnabas Jordan, 1801 to 1845.
February Clark, I have a... You may stay in my suite at the Jolly Good Club. My Orem Star membership, you will be
It's
P.S.
What a sourpuss. The insignia. What a sour. Stern look. General Lancaster Bevins. It's a list of.
February 9th, Clark, I have a business proposal. Relinquished, you may stay in my suite at the Jolly Good Club. My Orem Star membership and military rank afford me certain privileges. You will be furnished with the comforts owing to a man of your intellect and accomplishments.
It's signed L.
P.S. You needn't have any concern for your valuables, as there is ample secure storage in the room. One of the aforementioned perks.
Stern-looking fellow. He's got a medal on his chest with 4 stars on it. General Lancaster Bevins, 7. Sigh. Finney. Ned. Willie. Lige. Chan. Kit. Archie. Ham. Bat. that? Ham. Archie. Kit. Chan. Lige. Willie. Locked, of course, but these are the simplest door locks I've ever seen. Nothing to it. This must be Laporte's room, and there's the safe. Can't believe I've been wearing the same clothes nearly 2 weeks now. Still life of some fruit and flowers. Hotel art. Strange device. Something to do with the planets. It's got several drawers, and the top is surprisingly clean. Nothing. This desk hasn't been used in a while. The wild frontier. This has been one hell of a journey. It's still early in the evening. I hope we can locate Clark before morning. Typical hotel nightstand. Completely empty. Not too different from the one at our hotel. I found a crumpled note. Better take it. General Laporte, as per your request, we have provided your suite with a safe. The combination is 12 right, 9 left, 5 right. Please share this information only with those you trust. Management. General Laporte, as per your request, we have provided your suite with a safe. The combination... A fine place to store clothes. A few suits. That's the most likely place for a clue to Clark's whereabouts. Well, I'll be. All right, let's see what we've got here. Some kind of wooden card? Better hang on to it. And another journal, but not Clark's. Uh-oh, sounds like the presentation's wrapping up. I'd better make myself scarce.
And who might you be?
Oh, just one of the cleaners. It's my first night, so I was getting a feel for the place.
I'm afraid I don't believe you. This is a members-only club, and you clearly aren't a member. Therefore, I can only assume that you must have broken in. Your intent was to steal something, I suppose?
I'm no thief. My hands are empty.
And your pockets?
Nothing I didn't bring in with me.
You're quite clever. Very well, you can go. Let it not be said that General Laporte can't be merciful. But if I ever see you in here again, I won't be so lenient. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Were you successful?
I think so, but let's get out of here. Now, let's see what's in this diary I found. Clark's not at the club anymore, but I found out who invited him to El Presidio, an army general named Laporte. He's got Clark on Gannett Island working on some secret operation called Project Rosewater.
Project Rosewater?
No idea what it is, but it's the whole reason Laporte brought Clark here.
Wait a minute. Remember those crates on the army supply wagon? The ones marked Rosewater? They weren't going to the town of Rosewater. They must have been coming here for Project Rosewater.
Of course. Fort Beaumont was just a waypoint. It sure seemed like a lot of stuff for one little outpost in the middle of nowhere.
So, the night deliveries, the Orem bars.
Something big is going on here. We need to have a talk with Shaw.
Miss Legere, have you any news?
Clark's been moved to Gannett Island.
Gannett Island? There's nothing there, just a crumbling fort and lighthouse.
Have you heard of an army general named Laporte? Or something called Project Rosewater?
Neither. Go on.
Then does that mean you're not aware what sort of trouble you're stirring up? This quest has run us afoul of some very dangerous people. If you expect us to get Clark for you, I want to know why you want him so badly.
Very well. Imagine airships, engines, furnaces, powered not by petroleum and coal, but by ethericity, an infinitely renewable energy source that comes from the sky itself, clean, efficient, and economical.
But you run an oil company.
I run an energy company, Miss Leger. Energy takes many forms. With Dr. Clark in my employ, we can lay the groundwork now for a pivot from oil to ethericity. Once the benefits become apparent, the market will clamour for clean, safe, etheric energy. And only one company will be equipped to meet that demand on day one. Mine.
What about the ban?
Bans are imposed by governments, and governments change, Miss Leger. Not everyone supports Leroy's technophobic policies. The Labourites are barely hanging on. It's not just Atwood's trade party that would like to see etheric advancement back on the table. Royalists, justice, pioneers, even the Christian Union would all get on board. In these fractious times, ethericity has the potential to be a great uniter. Change is just over the horizon. But enough politics. You know where Clark is. Go get him. Best of luck.
Good evening.
Evening to you.
How much to go to Gannett Island?
Oh, hell. There's no amount of money could get me to set foot on that island.
Why not?
It's cursed. Haunted by demonic spirits.
Come on, really?
Seen them with my own eyes. Horrid specters floating around the place, ready to kill anyone who gets too close. When they're out dancing in the sky at night, you can feel their evil influence in the air, too. Hot shivers going down the back of your neck. You know it's good for you. Don't get any idea going out there out of your head.
Look, we really need to get to that island.
Good luck to you, then. Nobody in their right mind will take you there.
You said no amount of money could get you to set foot on the island. What if you just dropped us off?
You're dead set on going, aren't you?
I thought I'd made that clear.
All right. You have such disregard for your life, there's nothing I can do about it. But I won't take you there for any less than 60 crowns.
You drive a hard bargain, but we're not giving up. Here's the money.
All right. The minute I drop you off, I'm gone.
How are we supposed to get back?
I'll come back for you. At dawn. If the ghosts haven't killed you before then, that is.
We'll take our chances. Let's go. Owing to the island's reputation as the accursed haunt of assorted malignant spooks and spirits, it has cost us a comely copper to induce one of the credulous locals to transport us here. I do have to admit that this place presents a rather eerie aspect. It's easy enough to imagine ghosts drifting along the ramparts of the ruined fort, or floating among the after images of the lighthouse beam. But there's only one ghost I'm interested in finding here.
Remember, I'll be back at sunrise. Then I'm heading home whether you're on my boat or not.
Look, there's smoke coming from the chimney of that cabin.
I guess this island isn't all that abandoned. Stay alert. Hey, Danny?
Yes, Holly.
Pretty spooky place, this island.
I'll say. I can see why people think it's haunted.
You don't believe in ghosts, do you?
I don't know, but we should be careful. Make sure you don't whistle or anything, okay?
What? Why not?
Just trust me.
Hey, Nadine. This island gives me an uneasy feeling.
It's not the most welcoming of places, but I don't think we have much to fear.
Hello? Anyone home? No one here. We can do some prowling. Whoever's staying in here must believe the stories about the island being haunted. If this is lit, it means someone's been here recently.
But where are they now?
It's got a dragon on it, but no indication of what tea is inside. Feels mostly full. A box of chamomile tea. Feels nearly full. Bai Ji Guan. Some kind of Chinese tea, I guess. Nearly empty. Oolong. I think I've had this stuff before. Running pretty low. This one's not labeled. Hey, there's something rattling around in here. A small silver key. I'll just hang on to it. I'll just take a little bit. Feel like I could lie down and sleep for weeks. Maybe I will when we're through. It's getting late. I hope we can make that dawn rendezvous. How rustic. All things considered, I could be looking a lot worse. A plain-looking cupboard, but the good stuff's always on the inside. Locked, because of course it is. Here we are. It's empty, except for a couple of bullets. I'll take those. It's keeping this place nice and warm. A spare lantern. Nothing to say, really. All right there, Danny?
Yep.
Someone must keep this lighthouse running. Bet this fort was impressive in its day. It's a crumbling ruin now. Shh. Not another step. There's a guard. Stay quiet. A strange wooden card lined with metal. It's got some holes on one side. Looks like we found the island's inhabitant. What exactly is he guarding? The guard keeps drinking from this cup. Odd device. Looks like it's meant to be spoken into. Massive doors. Do they lead underground? Quite an elaborate contraption. I have a feeling pulling that lever will make something important happen. Not now. Stay here. I'm going to see what's through that door over there. This place is falling apart. A nice mountainside landscape. Cheery. I'm surprised this thing is still intact. There's a lot of broken glass in here. What's this? One container hasn't been broken. I might be able to use it. I think a bed of hot coals would be comfier. Just a dirty old sheet, and I see no reason to get any closer. There's a metal drain in the floor. Nothing, just some muck. Not now. Looks like we found the island's inhabitant. What exactly is he guarding? Odd device. Can't do that with a guard here. Not now. Hey, Danny?
Yes, Holly.
Any ideas for getting us past that guard?
Actually, yes. He doesn't look too tough. I could probably scare him off with a little gunplay. Only trouble is, I'm out of bullets.
Actually, I've already got some.
Great. Shall we go ahead with the plan?
Yeah, sounds great. Let's run him off.
Huh? I don't get paid enough for this.
Nice job, Danny. Now to get those doors open. Somehow. Odd device. Looks like it's meant to be spoken into. Massive doors. Do they lead underground? Quite an elaborate contraption. Quite an elaborate... Nothing happened. It's a small slot. Looks like something flat and rectangular would fit. It fits!
Wow. That's something.
This is getting stranger by the minute.
You're telling me. Don't know where this thing came from, but it seems important. Better take this card back. Don't want to be stuck down there. All right, folks. I think this is it. Wherever this takes us, I have a feeling Dr. Clark will be there.
But will we be able to come back up once we find him?
I sure hope so.
Maybe one of us should stay up here, just in case.
There's no telling what we'll find down there. We should all stick together.
Okay, let's go then.
What in the ether is this place?
It seems that was a one-way ride.
Damn, I knew one of us should have stayed up there.
So now we're looking for two things. Clark and the exit.
What? We weren't expecting, who are you?
I could easily ask you the same thing.
I'm one of Dr. Clark's lab assistants.
I see. Could you take us to him?
Hang on. You still haven't said why you're here.
We've come on General Laporte's orders.
Oh, well, why didn't you say so? Right, come with me.
Goodness, this place is really something.
I'm glad you think so.
What's that big glowing thing down there?
That's our etheric generator. Powers most everything down here. You get used to the noise. Follow me, please. I'll just be a moment.
Do you think he believes us?
I think we're okay so far. Just follow my lead.
I suppose the deception was necessary. I hope we don't come to regret it.
I suppose General Laporte's curiosity was too much for him to bear. I told him he could come for a demonstration next week. Instead, he sends 3 proxies. I will never understand that man's rationale. But you're here now, so you may as well see what we've got. I'm Dr. Bennett Clark, by the way. And you are?
I'm Miss Legere. This is Miss Redbird and Mr. Luo. We've been engaged to assist on this project and have come to get a briefing.
New hires. I wish the General would communicate these things, but I suppose this is good. No sense sugarcoating what this work experience will have in store for you. All right, let's go have a look at Project Rosewater. I'm afraid the testing chamber only accommodates 4. One of you will have to stay out here with Joshua, but you may observe the test through the window. As I said, we weren't expecting anyone until next week. The prototype still needs refinement. Nevertheless, we have made a breakthrough.
Prototype of what, exactly?
You mean the General didn't tell you? Why am I not surprised? There on the tripod, the etheric pistol. The whole purpose and object of Project Rosewater. Juliet, is the prototype ready for demonstration?
I believe so, Doctor. But who are we demonstrating it for?
Miss Legere and her companions, the team sent by General Laporte. Now, please, do us the honors.
Yes, Doctor.
Oh my.
Whoa.
We have managed to confine the chaotic etheric discharge to a very narrow, focused beam over a distance of up to 6 meters, without significant dissipation or redirection of energy, reaching nearly 68.2% efficiency. This results in complete vaporization of most organic targets, with only minimal atmospheric disturbances in the immediate vicinity. You might be feeling warmth, or a slight tingling sensation on your skin, and a change of pressure in your ears. Perfectly harmless. Oh, And if you are experiencing any alteration to your color vision, I assure you that is also completely temporary.
I taste purple. Does anyone else taste purple?
There are sometimes minor synesthetic side effects. That too will pass. Of course, there is plenty of room for improvement in range, energy efficiency, fine-tuning of the beam's intensity and area of effect, user-friendliness and safety. But as proof of concept, this irrefutably demonstrates that the principle is sound and that it can be scaled up. The rest is iteration.
Well, thank you for that thorough explanation.
Now I'm afraid you must excuse me. I have some time-sensitive tasks I must attend to. If only I'd been forewarned of your arrival, I might have made arrangements. In any event, if you have questions, I or my assistants can answer them. Just be mindful not to touch anything.
Hey, Nadine. I never would have guessed a place like this existed if we hadn't seen it with our own eyes.
It certainly explains all the stories about strange lights and ghosts. Perhaps the island's reputation was the reason they chose it to house this facility.
Who knows what they keep in there? Not while Clark's around. It appears to be a charging device. There's a small round socket at the top. It's displaying all sorts of numbers and readings I can't begin to comprehend. Flashing lights and other displays. I can't tell if it means something or is just meant to look pretty. So this is Project Rosewater. Looks like some demented puzzle box. The lab assistant's desk. She's written some notes, but I have no idea what they mean. Pardon me.
Sorry, can't talk right now. If you've got any questions, ask Dr. Clark.
Dr. Clark?
Yes, what is it?
Just how long have you been down in this facility?
8 months. We've made extraordinary progress, as you can see. I admit, I had some misgivings when I first learned what would be required of us, but it turns out the isolation has done wonders for our productivity.
So who built this whole underground complex anyway? I'm guessing it wasn't always a secret ethericity lab.
I'm not entirely sure. Apart from the additional equipment I specified, everything was already prepared for us when I arrived in El Presidio. General Laporte isn't exactly forthcoming with information he considers irrelevant.
Why did you agree to work on this project?
Why? I just experienced the worst disaster of my life. My work was first ridiculed and then outlawed, and I was exiled to a barren wasteland. The only prospect I could see was to leave the country and start everything over. But then I received General Laporte's offer. I could continue my work in safety and solitude. Everything I needed would be provided. No investors, no reporters, no loonies, no distractions. I'm certain anyone in my position would have jumped at the opportunity.
Who came up with Project Rosewater?
My understanding is that this work is for the benefit of the Vespuccian army. General Laporte is in charge of the project. Everything goes through him. Other than the facility guards, I've had contact with no one else.
How much longer until Project Rosewater is finished?
We're nearing the end of this phase. If all goes well, we should have a stable, fully functioning prototype by the end of the year.
What exactly is the goal of this project?
Well, once the etheric pistol is complete, we'll begin experimenting with larger caliber weapons.
Etheric rifles?
Yes, and whatever else the General sees fit to pursue.
Where does it stop?
You'd have to ask him that question.
How did this project get the name Rosewater?
My idea. Sentimental, really. I suppose I had gotten attached to my dry and dusty little desert lab. After all, Rosewater was my refuge when I lost everything else. I just made an offhand comment to that effect one day while discussing arrangements with the General. And he said, well, in that case, why don't you bring Rosewater with you? When I found out he made that the official title of the project, it made me smile, I'll admit.
Just how did you come to discover the existence of ethericity?
Now that's a story. When I was a boy, I read about the ancient Greeks and their studies of the heavens. Certain texts made obscure references to observations of energy subsisting in the atmosphere. Something entirely different from electricity. The idea seized my imagination and sparked my passion for the pursuit of ethericity. I developed an instrument that I called the aetherometer in order to probe the atmospheric potential. Imagine my delight when I discovered that ethericity was in fact real. Unfortunately, the aetherometer has been appropriated by so-called spiritualists who believe they can use it to talk with the dead.
I'd like to know your perspective on the Lamplight City Expo incident.
That was a dark day. Everything I worked for came crashing down in a matter of seconds. Being maligned and ostracized was bad enough, but I can still hear the screams of those 15 poor souls. If anything good can be said to have come from that horrible event, it taught me that nothing in this life is guaranteed.
What inspired you to become a scientist?
Trite as it may sound, I wanted to make the world better. I had a fortunate birth. My parents were able to pay for my studies in Paris, which is where I earned my doctorate in physics. But even as a boy, I still saw plenty of terrible things going on around me. Others seemed not to see, but I did. Upon my return to Vespuccia, I began teaching and conducting independent research. My only explicit goal was to make some sort of discovery or development that would serve the advancement of mankind. I would like to believe I've achieved that.
Do you know much about General Laporte?
Not a great deal, no. I only met him when he summoned me to El Presidio. We speak occasionally, but only about professional matters. Just as well, I suppose. His interests don't align particularly well with mine.
So your relationship is purely professional?
It's an acquaintanceship at best.
I'll let you get back to it.
Thank you.
I don't think I'm allowed in there. At least, not while there's someone watching.
That was really something.
So Laporte's got Clark developing etheric weapons for the military. This throws a wrench in Shaw's plans.
How horrible. Instead of something good to benefit humanity, ethericity is being harnessed to produce suffering and death. Perhaps Dr. Clark will be open to the idea of leaving this project for something less distasteful.
Perhaps. But I can't just ask him with his assistant right there. Maybe I can get her to leave the testing chamber so I can have a moment alone with Clark. Caution, testing in progress. Hey, Danny?
Yes, Holly.
How do you suppose they managed to build a place like this under an island?
Don't know, but whoever did it must be real serious about Dr. Clark's research.
Nothing to say, really. Some kind of little oven for heating food, I think. This thing is in dire need of repairs. set of encyclopedias. The box is full of odds and ends, some sewing and personal grooming supplies. The only indication of time down here. You could almost think you were in some nice hotel and forget you were in a secret, illegal underground laboratory beneath a ruined fort on a cursed, haunted island. Just some clothes and a couple of storage boxes. Just some clothes. The lab assistants share a room? Not sure if that's progressive or scandalous. This must be the door to Dr. Clark's quarters. There's no handle. There's a card slot next to the door. Seems to be locked. It doesn't fit. An etheric generator. It's big and loud. Looks like a more complex version of the console back in Clark's desert lab. Controls, gauges, and dials. Who knows what they're for? These tomatoes are thriving. Must be all the exposure to ethericity. Hey, can we talk?
Sure. What's on your mind?
Have you been down here long?
Ooh, about 7 months, I think. Without any sunlight, you really lose all sense of time. Sometimes it feels like decades.
No sunlight? You mean you never go outside?
No, of course not. Is this some kind of test? The terms were made very clear when we signed onto this project. We don't break protocol. I do really miss the sun, though. Sometimes I feel like a mushroom down here.
How did you become interested in etheric research?
I was already a researcher when I met Dr. Clark, but my field was chemistry. I had dabbled some with etheric experiments after hearing about Clark's research. When I saw him at the Lamplight City Expo, I knew I wanted to work with him, despite what happened. After the dust settled, I approached him about taking me on as an assistant. I got the feeling he was just surprised to still have any support.
Don't you ever get bored here?
Sure, all the time. We've got books, but I've read them all. This is my 3rd time through this one. At least this phase of the project's near completion. Maybe we'll get some time up top before the next one.
Never would have dreamed there was a whole secret facility hidden under this rock in the middle of the bay. Who built it anyway?
The military, I guess. Had to be someone with very deep pockets. Everything was already in place before they moved us in.
What are your thoughts on Project Rosewater?
Honestly, I try not to think about it too much. We're doing important scientific research. I can't deny that. Just because our focus is on weapons doesn't mean our results can't be used for other applications.
How do you like working with Dr. Clark?
It has its moments, but I'd be lying if I said it wasn't stressful. He gets wound up sometimes, which I understand. But other times he picks strange things to get cross about.
Like what?
Well, his biggest bugbear is food in the testing chamber. I made the mistake of taking my lunch in there once, and he just about had a conniption. Cleanliness is one thing, but this is a whole other level.
So Clark dislikes food in the testing chamber, does he?
Dislikes? More like detests.
Know anything about General Laporte?
I saw him once. right at the start of the project. Didn't talk to him. He seemed kind of intense. He's the one running this show, as far as I can tell. Beyond that, the man's a total mystery.
Okay, see you around.
Bye.
Hey, Nadine. Think you can occupy Dr. Clark's attention for a few moments?
I can certainly try. Oh, Doctor, could I have a word?
Yes, what is it?
There. Now to watch the fireworks.
What? Miss Montgomery, what is the meaning of this? How many times have I said, no food in the testing chamber?
But
I don't want excuses. Clear it out. Put away the power cell. We're done with testing today.
Yes, Dr. Clark.
I apologize for that, Miss Leger, but I'm very particular about rules.
Hey, nothing wrong with that. Dr. Clark?
Yes, what is it?
I'll let you get back to it.
Thank you.
Nothing to say, really. Can we talk?
I suppose so.
Just how long have you been working down here?
Good question. It's difficult keeping track of time. We're in September, right?
November, actually.
Oh, then it's been longer than I thought. We came down here in March.
What sparked your interest in etheric research?
I followed Dr. Clark's career from the early days. He was one of the first to begin advancing etheric theory with practical experiments. Not only that, he was getting results. After I graduated from university, I sent him my thesis on the effects of ethericity on plants and animals. I guess that made me one of the few practical researchers out there, too. He wrote back immediately with an offer of employment.
How do you keep from getting bored?
The work is pretty all-consuming, and we don't have much of a social scene down here. Dr. Clark is kind enough to lend us his books to pass the quiet hours.
Do you know who built this place?
I suppose this is an old army base, but Clark's had it fitted with some really state-of-the-art equipment. We're lucky to be so well-resourced.
I was blown away by that demonstration. Figuratively speaking, of course.
Huh. We've been working on it non-stop, but there are a lot of kinks to work out before it'll be field-ready. For instance, we still can't get more than one shot out of each power cell. I suppose in an actual battlefield situation, you'd need to carry around a lot of cells and reload for every shot, like cannonballs. But the power cells are still very difficult to construct, so we only have a few prototypes. We have to recharge them constantly.
How long does it normally take to charge one of the power cells?
Around 6 hours.
Wow.
Wow is right. Joshua hooked one up to the etheric generator and discovered that it charged instantly. But Dr. Clark wasn't happy about it.
Why not?
He said it made the power cell unstable. But we didn't have to wait all day for the next trial, and Joshua was even able to get 2 shots out of that one. The overcharge effect is certainly something we should investigate later.
What was that about a faster way to charge the power cells?
Joshua figured out that hooking the power cell to the etheric generator charged it instantly, but Dr. Clark discouraged it because it makes the power cell unstable.
Between you and me, doesn't it concern you that ethericity is being weaponized?
Not at all. It's a powerful energy source, and this is one of many practical applications.
Sure, but isn't it better to use it for less destructive purposes?
We live in a dangerous world, and these are uncertain times. Other nations probably have their own etheric weaponry development programs underway. If we didn't pursue this research, we'd be falling behind. A new weapon is most useful as a deterrent. Having it in your back pocket means everyone else thinks twice before firing on you. I know Dr. Clark's had some moral reservations about the military applications of ethericity, but he's a professional through and through.
So, what's working with Dr. Clark like?
He's a brilliant man. I learn something new from him every day.
He seems short-tempered.
Well, yes, but that's just the genius mind, isn't it? No room left over for navigating social niceties.
Can you tell me anything about General Laporte?
Not really. I know he's the one overseeing this project, but I've never had the opportunity to speak with him.
I appreciate the chat.
It's nice to have someone new to talk to.
Dr. Clark?
Yes, what is it?
Dr. Clark, there's something I need to tell you. We're not really new hires.
What? Who are you then?
Some folks who were hired by D.W. Shaw to come find you.
The head of Vespuccia Petrol?
The very same.
What does she want with me?
She wants you to help her company pivot from oil to ethericity.
How does she intend to circumvent the ban?
She seems to think it'll be lifted soon. Or that she can influence things in that direction.
So she would have me work for VP to generate etheric energy for widespread use?
As an alternative power source, yes. It might even replace coal and oil someday.
Well, that's certainly more appealing than weaponry. But extreme arrangements have been made to develop this project in secret, and at considerable expense, I'm sure. It's not the sort of thing one can just walk away from.
You'd prefer your research be used to find new ways to kill people?
No, but
Look, I understand. You suffered a terrible setback after the expo. I'm sure it must have been hard. You probably felt like nobody would ever take you seriously again.
You have no idea.
I do know that if I were in your shoes, I'd have probably grabbed onto any lifeline. But I can tell your heart's not really in it, especially knowing what it is you're building.
Yes, well...
So you're gonna squander this opportunity to do some real good in the world because you're afraid of a stuffy old general?
You're right, Miss Leger. This isn't about me. This is about humanity. I'll come with you. But... oh goodness. How shall we... We need to do this discreetly. My assistants can't know what's going on. I'm going to my quarters to settle some things. Excuse me.
Certainly have a way with words, Harley.
That's why I try and get paid for them. So this is Project Rosewater. Let's hope nobody notices this is missing. Locked, naturally. Got it. I'm sure they won't miss just one power cell. Or maybe they will. Either way, I've got one now. A couple of wires from that food heating device. This seems like a good place to attach the wires. A power cell for an etheric pistol. It's out of power. I need to charge it somehow. Here we go. Hope this works. Wow, it charged up almost instantly. Locked and loaded.
Ah, hello. I'm just leaving a note for my assistants.
Explaining why you're giving them the slip?
I feel I owe it to them.
It's a ferrotype of Clark's old lab near Rosewater. A ferrotype of a desert landscape. Who are those busts of?
Galileo, Copernicus, Da Vinci. 3 great men who changed the world as we know it.
Hoping to add your likeness to the collection someday?
Well, I wouldn't be opposed, if I'd earned it, of course.
At least there's plenty of books down here. A toolbox. Naturally, Clark would be a tinkerer. That is one messy desk. What is it they say about desks and minds? Dr. Clark?
Yes, what is it?
So how do we make our escape without alerting your assistants?
First things first. We need to call the elevator so we have a way out. But we also need to find a way to disable the communications relay. Otherwise, the alarm will be raised and they'll catch us in no time.
So how can we call the elevator?
Good question. It requires a 4-digit code. To my knowledge, the only people who know it are General Laporte and the guard upstairs.
Too bad I didn't think to ask what it was before getting rid of him.
Without that code, we are stuck.
I'll figure something out. Could you explain this communications relay thing?
Of course. Next to the elevator, there's a device we can use to contact the person standing guard upstairs. It's mainly for emergency use. If the guard doesn't respond after a time, the wires relay the signal to Laporte's office.
So we need to disable it to keep Laporte from suspecting anything.
Precisely.
Something I've been wondering about.
Hmm?
When we first started looking for you, the idea was floated, let's say, that you had a stash somewhere of cash left over from investments in your research that had to be concealed once the work became illegal. Is there any truth to that notion?
You're asking me to tell you if I have a secret hidden fortune.
Well, I don't expect you to tell me where or hand it over or anything. I'm just burning to know if there was really anything to the rumor at all, or if it was all just dust and fairy tales.
What do you think?
Call me a romantic, but I just have a feeling there's more to this story. You strike me as a man who might have some tricks up his sleeve, and one or two secrets. Did you know that a group of ethericity worshippers flocked to your old lab and set up a commune there?
My lab in Rosewater?
Yup. We met them when we went there looking for clues as to your whereabouts. They picked everything clean. Built a kind of museum to you and your work.
I had no idea, but my work always attracted strange sorts. Curious gawkers would show up now and again, hoping to catch a glimpse of something spectacular, or the angry bereaved, threatening vengeance for the victims of the disaster. It's been quite a relief, not having to worry about all that down here.
That commune by your lab? They're from a religious movement calling themselves the Luminarians. Apparently, they believe that the ether is populated by these otherworldly presences called the Luminous Ones, and that you disappeared because you opened up a gateway to the other side of the veil where everything is bliss and peace, and you transcended and became a Luminous One yourself. They call you Evocator Bennett, and they think that you were just leading the way for them all to follow somehow and cross over into new lives on the other side. They think that anyone who gets vaporized in an etheric blast also transcends into the ether, and their soul, which looks like a butterfly trapped inside their body, gets freed to fly into this other place while leaving behind the shadow of their mortal shell as a marker. They make what they call soul paintings of people that look like the shadows of the disaster victims, and paint butterfly motifs all over everything to indicate the purity and beauty of a person's true etheric form.
Wow.
I'll let you get back to it.
Thank you.
Might I borrow your screwdriver, Dr. Clark?
By all means.
It's the communications relay. We need to disable it before getting Clark out of here. Hey, Danny?
Yes, Holly.
Any idea how we can disable the communications relay?
Don't suppose there's an off switch?
None that I can see.
Maybe it's time to look for a sledgehammer.
Hey, Nadine. How do you suppose we can disable the communications relay?
I'm not sure. Is there any visible way to power it down?
Not that I can see.
Then perhaps more drastic measures?
These crates are all marked Rosewater.
Like the ones we saw on the wagon.
As we suspected. This confirms they were headed for Project Rosewater. Seems to be the only way out of here. Never seen a lamp glow green before.
It feels almost magical.
Just like the one in the courtyard above. It should theoretically call the elevator. There's a metal panel covering part of this contraption. This contraption has a keypad instead of a slot. It must need a code. There we go. Guess I pressed too many. Well, how about that? Guess I pressed too many. Guess I pressed too many. Guess that wasn't the right code. Guess that wasn't the right code. Guess that wasn't the right code. Damn. There must be a way to figure out which buttons to press. The configuration of the piston seems to be the key. Haven't I seen something like this recently? There! That was it. I figured out the code. The elevator's ready to be called.
Wonderful. Let's be going then.
Not just yet. I need to take care of the communications relay.
The what?
That contraption on the wall there. Clark said we need to disable it before we leave. Stand back. I'm taking this thing out.
Whoa! I thought the plan was to do this discreetly.
Desperate times and all that. Now come on, let's get out of here.
You're taking the prototype, I see. Wait, where did you get a charged power cell? We only charged one up, and we used it in the demonstration.
I hooked this one up to the etheric generator.
You what? That's incredibly dangerous. That kind of unfiltered surge would leave the power cell completely unstable. Unless it's discharged within the next, 20 minutes. It will explode.
Oh, we'll have to worry about that later. Let's get back topside before your assistants figure out what's going on.
If that power cell starts glowing white, you had better let me know quick.
After you, Doctor.
Hold it right there.
Shouldn't you be cowering under your bed?
Shut up. Hand over your weapons and come with us. There's someone wants to see you.
Taking some air, Dr. Clark? Kindly stand over there if you would. You three, up against the wall.
She had this funny pistol on her.
Ah, there it is. Can't let this fall into the wrong hands, can we? Now, Have you got anything to say for yourself?
How did you know we were here?
I had you followed after our encounter at the Jolly Good Club. You thieves are all the same.
We are not thieves.
No, you raided my supply wagon, broke into my private room, took my key card from my safe, and stole my etheric pistol. If you're not thieves, you should consider taking it up. You're naturals.
We had no idea the wagon was yours. We were only trying to help the Otham right a wrong done to them.
Friends to the savages, how noble. It's clear to me you've no idea what you've stepped into. So, who put you up to this?
It was Gentleman Jake. He was leading us on a search supposedly for Clark's lost fortune.
Lost fortune? Curious. Though I'd be rather shocked if he came up with that all on his own. We've chatted long enough.
General, what are you doing?
Conducting my own test, Doctor. It's time to see if your prototype really works.
Not so fast, Laporte. I would strongly advise you not to fire that pistol.
And just who in blazes are you?
Timothy King, representing D.W. Shaw and Vespuccia Petrol.
Why have you come to this little summit?
Miss Legere and her companions were charged with delivering Dr. Clark to my employer. They are the company's responsibility. I'll have to insist you stop interfering with our agents and let them go.
You can't be serious.
I am.
Boys, take care of this louse.
Stand down, pendejo!
Well, we've got all kinds coming out of the woodwork tonight. And who might you be?
Lieutenant General Marisol de la Vega. You must be General Laporte.
Seems you new Spanish revolutionaries are much cleverer than I was led to believe.
General Marquez assigned me to trace the suspicious shipments of Aurum passing through Fort Beaumont. The trail led here. Where is General Marquez?
He didn't make it. He gave his life defending us from Laporte's hired thugs.
What? No, it cannot be.
I tried to save him, but he was too badly wounded. I'm so sorry.
Laporte sent the Blackburns to ambush us. He's responsible for Phil's death.
I gotta put a bullet in your head, Laporte.
Do so, and you'll receive one in kind. That goes for Mr. King as well.
It would seem we have reached an impasse.
Not quite.
Jake?
I knew he'd be back!
Mr. Ackerman, I presume?
That's right. And you are?
General William Laporte.
Well, now we're acquainted, we can get to business. Harley, can you and the others step aside, please?
What are you doing, Jake?
What I should have done back at the wagon. Now move. General Laporte, I challenge you to a gentleman's duel.
Oh, please. Is the sad old washed-up cowboy that desperate for one last chance at glory?
No. He's looking for one last chance to do right by his friends. Now draw.
Jake, you don't have to do this.
Afraid I do, Miss Legere. 3, 2, 1.
Jake!
No!
Hands up, cobarde!
Miss Legere, are you unharmed?
I think so. You all right, Danny?
Yeah.
I can't believe... Guess deep down you were a hero after all.
Let's get off this rock, shall we?
Thanks for your help back there, Lieutenant General.
You are welcome.
For what it's worth, I'm sure General Marquez would be proud to know you're leading the revolution now.
News of his death will be a great blow to morale, but we will carry on the fight in his name. He was an inspiration to us all. At the very least, the revolution can make use of the Aurum stored on the island, now that the man who conspired to steal it is dead.
Technically, that Aurum was government money and belongs to the people of Vespuccia. But as a citizen of this country, I say, have it, with my blessing. Viva la revolucion!
Gracias. We have a difficult path ahead of us, but I have hope.
I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you, Miss Leger.
We're back, ma'am.
I assume everything has been taken care of?
All loose ends have been tied.
Splendid. Send them in. You've no idea how pleased I am at your success. It's good to finally make your acquaintance, Doctor. I am D.W. Shaw.
The pleasure is all mine, madame.
We have much to discuss. First, I must conclude my business with Miss Leger and her companions.
Of course.
You've been through a great deal. I cannot thank you enough.
We were almost killed, you know.
I imagined it would be a dangerous undertaking. Yet here you stand before me. I won't keep you any longer. Here is your payment. Mr. Ackerman was promised 25,000, but considering all your trouble, I've increased it to 27. I'm sure you'll find it easier to divide.
Thank you, Mrs. Shaw.
Pleasure doing business with you. Before you go, I made some inquiries and learned a few rather compelling things about General Laporte. I could share the information if you like.
Go on, then.
It seems General Laporte was a staunch supporter of Mr. Atwood's trade party, quite vocal about his desire for the advancement of steam tech and etheric research. There were also rumours that he held some more controversial opinions regarding this country's sovereignty.
He was a separatist?
Apparently so.
You think Project Rosewater was meant to arm some kind of etheric revolution?
I am merely relaying the information I've learned. Anything beyond that is pure speculation. The only person with knowledge of Laporte's motives is the man himself.
And that information died with him. Well, with him gone and the prototype pistol destroyed, whatever plans he had can't come to fruition.
For now, yes. But I can tell you one thing about this world. It is rare that one accomplishes anything of note alone.
We should get back to our hotel. It's been a long night.
Indeed. Goodbye, Miss Leger. I hope you and your friends enjoy the rest of your time in El Presidio.
And thank you, Miss Leger. I appreciate your facilitating this new opportunity.
Best of luck to you, Dr. Clark. This was all very enlightening. So, what are you two planning on doing next?
I'm honestly not sure, but I think I will apply for a medical license after all. I may go back to the San Bernardo Valley, or I may stay here on the coast. It's something I'll have to discuss with Lola.
What about you, Danny?
I'm not really sure. Suppose it wouldn't be such a bad idea to visit my folks. It's been too long. After that, guess I've got to find a new line of work.
What about you, Harley?
Suppose I'll head back to Rosewater. I've got an article to write after all.
And I guess this is goodbye.
This is where we part ways, for now. But you know where to find me. And you can be damn sure I'll write back.
Hope I'm not interrupting anything.
Lola, Nadine was just talking about you.
Thought I felt my ears ringing. Anyways, I'm heading back to Rosewater. Wanted to see if you needed a lift.
We're heading back already?
Sure, but just for a few days. We'll set out again after that. Anywhere you like.
You ever for a moment consider just slowing down a tad?
Never. Say your farewells and let's go.
See you around, Danny. It was a real pleasure traveling with you.
So long.
Goodbye, and good luck.
I'm back.
Well, look what the cat dragged in.
Did I miss anything while I was gone?
Let's see. There was a dust devil by the saloon that nearly knocked Sheriff Gamble's hat off.
Front page news, then.
Seriously, though, I spoke with the leader of the Autumn. She gave me some good stuff. The article runs next week. What of your great adventure?
Concluded now. But I've got plenty of material for an article. Maybe even 5.
And you'd best get to it. Better to jot everything down while it's still fresh.
Right you are, boss. They say the end of every journey marks the beginning of another. If there's any truth to that, this writer hopes the next one is decidedly duller. My companions and I set out from Rosewater and traveled across the Vespuccian frontier, encountering bandits, rebels, visionaries, eccentrics, and many more friends and foes. We were led to believe that our quest was for Dr. Bennett Clark's missing fortune, but as it turned out, we were on the trail of the very man himself. The following is an account of that journey, with no detail spared, no fact left unrelated. And so at the journey's end, you may ask yourself, dear reader, what of the main players in this saga? Danny went home to a happy reunion with his parents. He says he's hung up his pistols and retired from gunslinging, with the intent of pursuing a culinary career. I said I'd be a regular if he ever opened a restaurant. I shall have to honor that promise should it come to pass. Nadine Redbird has begun the process of obtaining her medical license. She tells me she plans to convert Lola Johnson's wagon into a kind of mobile clinic, traveling the frontier helping those in need. It will be a welcome change from the usual traveling merchants hawking miracle cures. I can think of no one more qualified to dispense medical care. As for Miss Johnson, this new business venture will hopefully be more to her liking. At the very least, she now sets her own course, rather than bending to the whims of her clients. Miss Johnson truly opened up and offered me her friendship, for which I am ever grateful. I am truly happy that she and Nadine have found each other. I would be remiss to neglect mentioning our dearly departed friend. Phil Marquez was a great man. He was always true to himself, cared for those around him, and was just plain fun to be around. I will forever cherish the time I had with him, and I will carry his memory in my heart for the rest of my days. Naturally, I cannot fail to comment on Gentleman Jake Ackerman, the man who set this whole adventure in motion. My relationship with Jake could best be described as complex. While I never found myself taken with his tales, he seemed to me a genuine hero. That illusion was shattered when we were ambushed by Blackburn agents on the way to El Presidio. Jake disgracefully turned and fled, leaving us to face the ruthless barbarians on our own. However, he proved his true heroism when he returned in another moment of need. Jake bravely gave his life to save us from the wicked machinations of General Laporte. The etheric blast burned his shadow on a nearby wall, which has since become a monument to his bravery. I am told that it is visited daily by Jake's fans, admirers, and the odd curious traveler. In death, Jake managed to achieve the status of legendary hero he so craved. As for Dr. Clark, he seems happy in his new employment at Vespuccia Petrol. I can only hope his contributions to Mrs. Shaw's enterprise offer greater balm to the restless, inventive mind than the manufacture of apocalyptic weaponry. That, dear readers, is the long and the short of it. This was an adventure unlike any other I've been on. I doubt any other will ever compare. Though I say this not in reference to our route, purpose, or any of the situations or people encountered along the way. Rather because I doubt I will ever again find a group, a family as dear to me as the wonderful, complicated, beautiful, and flawed souls who accompanied me on this venture. Whew, my hand hurts. We'll see what Joni has to say about this in the morning. Well, what do you think?
You want my honest opinion?
Yes, of course I do.
It's good. Very good. It's great, actually. There's just no way on God's green earth we can print this.
Why not?
Secret underground laboratories, government conspiracies, special projects to develop etheric weapons. No one will believe a word of it. Not to mention you name some very powerful and important people who'd have me locked up for libel with a snap of a finger.
It's all true, Joni. I'm not in the habit of writing fiction.
Perhaps you should be.
Come again?
This story's got everything. Adventure, mad scientists, conspiracies, betrayals. Folk could pay through the nose to read this. If it were a novel.
Novel?
Sure. All you have to do is change the names, do a little narrative restructuring. You can even say it's based on actual events. That way we're off the hook if anyone's feathers get ruffled. What do you think?
A whole book, huh?
Trust me, I have a nose for these things. This one smells like a hit. You're sitting on a pile of aurum.
All right. I'll do it.
Excellent. Now all we need's a title.
That's your job, isn't it?
Suppose it is. It needs to be something catchy. Something simple yet evocative. Something like...
Dime qué me haré sin tu amor, flor silvestre. Si los días no me pertenecen desde que crucé tu jardín, si tu aroma mi alma carece, pierdo el deseo de vivir. Y cuando volveré, a mis brazos tenerte. Si estando libre tú eres feliz, cuando nadie tu paso detiene, la distancia no se compadece de estos ojos que sufren por ti. Y vivo la ilusión de que un día regreses. Entre abrazos y caricias confieses que no hay vida sin mí. Y dime qué me haré sin tu amor, flor silvestre. Si los días no me pertenecen desde que crucé tu jardín, si tu aroma mi alma carece, pierdo el deseo de vivir.
If you're serious about joining, you'll observe the customs. Also, it's an adventure game, that's why. Click on me. Click on me again. Ouch, stop clicking on me. If you would just stop clicking on me, I would tell you what to do next. Ooh, that felt good, though. Not there. Don't click there. This is not a mature-rated game. Okay.
I have a feeling there's something important in there. No shit, Harley, you dumbass. Okay.
I swear the man changes his mind more often than most change their bitch. I swear the man changed their bitches. Oh, man. Yo, what's up? Got 99 problems, but a bitch ain't a one. Anyway.